So moving forward, what is Windows Virtual Desktop? Essentially, it is your cloud comprehensive desktop and app virtualization service. So it's moving and it's leveraging and gaining the benefits of desktop and app virtualization within a cloud framework. And some of the key benefits to it are you can basically deliver the only multi-session Windows 10 virtual experience. It optimizes Microsoft 365 apps, for example. You're able to migrate Windows Server desktops and apps to Azure, and you can deploy and scale WVD in a matter of minutes. And the beauty around PaaS services is that obviously you have the benefits of the maintenance and the cost, the economies of scale that Microsoft provides you with. So it's taking a lot of that maintenance work that you would do with maybe if you're on RDS, for example, a lot of the maintenance work and the configuration work that you need there is completely taken away from you as part of that cloud solution, and you benefit from a really cost-effective maintenance from Microsoft themselves, and you basically benefit from using the application in the way that you want to use it. So the ability to obviously migrate deployed RDS services is a key factor. There's minimal downtime, and you obviously don't have expensive rebuilds. There's no hardware refreshes or expensive bills in terms of having to renew your hardware. Everything is obviously part of that Azure environment, and as part of Windows 10, you're getting a cloud native client experience that your employees are going to be familiar with. So it's something that's really easy and seamless to deploy. It's just about getting it right and then helping or taking that guidance from partners such as ourselves to be able to roll out those projects as effectively as possible. In terms of sort of the wider Windows Virtual Desktop benefits, so how it can impact you as an organization, there are many to that. So one of the ones that really pricks people's ears up is that if you already have Microsoft 365 licensing, then your Windows Virtual Desktop user licensing is included at no extra cost. So your user CALs are included. So if you've got Microsoft 365, then it's definitely worth looking into, because obviously you don't have that additional cost of licensing. But the other key thing is it contributes significantly to business continuity. So you can operate your office environment from any device in any location. And with we're coming out of the COVID sort of crisis, but obviously at the very beginning of COVID, that would have been something extremely beneficial for organizations that had already adopted WVD, because they could simply send their workforce home and continue from a productivity perspective as is, whereas those that were scrambling around to find alternative solutions probably were hindered from those productivity issues. The other key thing around having that sort of remote work, it's all well and good being able to work from any device and any location, but it needs to obviously be controlled and secure, and WVD provides that. It provides the most controlled, secure environment for your employees to replicate that office environment from home or from wherever they need to work from. And the other key thing in terms of the wider business is attracting the best talent. If you work with modern working practices, then you're going to attract people to your organization. But even more than that, depending on your locality, it means that you don't have to potentially have expensive office space in London, for example, to attract the talent in London. You're able to have people working from their location and seamlessly do so. So you're still attracting that best talent in the most cost-effective way possible, and it basically widens that pool. You can have anybody from anywhere as long as they're the right person for the role. And also, you can leverage the cost and performance benefits of the cloud. So as I said on the previous slide, for something like RDS, for example, you're not having expensive hardware refreshes. You're not having to pay for somebody or use some of your IT resource time on maintenance and upgrades and things like that. It's all included within Windows Virtual Desktop. So in terms of capabilities, it's a platform as a service delivery. So that's a key thing. And what do we actually mean by that? So Microsoft take responsibility for the platform services, the key infrastructure components, so web access, diagnostics, your load balancer, management, your broker, your gateways, all managed by Microsoft. And it gives these basic benefits to you. So in terms of availability, all your component services are basically provided as a service. It means there's no downtime for you. Microsoft handle it. in the background. You can sleep at night knowing that WVD, your Windows Virtual Desktop environment, is going to be alive and ready for you when you get up in the morning. And it's also managed on a global scale, so the load balancing of users is also automated, so making sure that they're on the right instance, and also you've got the monitoring and management included in that, so everything from an availability perspective is there for you, and it minimizes that downtime, well, to no downtime. Security as well is a big benefit of this. Obviously, we've all heard from Microsoft numerous times about how much they spend on cybersecurity, but you don't need to harden or patch services. Again, that's all done by Microsoft. You don't need to worry about web elements and gateways such as DDoS attacks, for example. Again, all handled by Microsoft. And then capacity. You don't have to cater for capacity that gives you, and you basically get that flexibility. So because it's an as a service model, if you need new users or you need to downscale users, that capacity is added and removed when you see fit, obviously impacting your cost in terms of the bottom line. And that's something obviously you don't do if you have something within a data center or you have your own on-premise infrastructure. So capacity is great in terms of having that option around scalability. And then accessibility. So there's standard tooling on HTML5 browsers via client for any client, and again that helps with accessibility. So the benefit there is that users can use any device or shared devices. It doesn't really matter. They've still got that accessibility.